Allison back in the Spreaker verse. Hey, I wanted to talk about something I've been doing over on the Social Media Tulsa Facebook page. For those of you who've been kind of following both my Twitter identities, or at least two of my Twitter identities, Party Aficionado and SOC Media Tulsa, you know that we kind of started as a meetup group and turned into a real great face-to-face networking group. And then what happened was people started coming to the group wanting to learn, and some people came wanting to help and teach. So we have this really good group of teachers and people who want to learn within our social networking group. And so when we first started, we had a meetup page and a Twitter hashtag, which is SM Tulsa, and not a lot of reason to do a Facebook page. We did a Facebook group, and I really started that as a way to kind of connect with people on Facebook who may or may not want to connect on Twitter. I wasn't finding a lot of conversations happening on the meetup page, so it certainly warranted a place for us to kind of share what other people were doing. But what was interesting is when I entered in that I worked with Social Media Tulsa on my personal Facebook page, it of course creates a location on Facebook, and some people were actually checking into Social Media Tulsa when we had meetups or during the conferences, and Facebook, in its infinite wisdom, continued to send me emails and saying, "Hey, this is Social Media Tulsa page. Is this you? Please claim your page." And I hesitated for some time, and then last year, right before or right after the conference, I don't remember when I actually started it. I think right after the 2011 conference, I went ahead and started the Facebook page. So facebook.com/Social Media Tulsa, you'll find the page that I'm talking about. And so I wanted to kind of develop that community with people who are in the group, and then also people who are very local. It's a very uber local page, but not local only specific. If you really want to learn something about what's happening in Tulsa, you may find a few things that you didn't know. But there's also more, a lot of social media tips and tricks and things that we're doing as a social media group, so that people who may not be part of the meetup group or haven't seen us on Twitter can kind of hang out on the page and see what's going on and connect with us in any way that they want to. And I think that's really the important part about social, and especially when social and face-to-face get together. You want to connect with people where they live, right? Where they like to hang out. So the page has been relatively successful. I notice conversations are slow, but they're coming, and I'm noticing things that spark more attention and likes than others. And I am using the promoted posts mostly to just kind of get the word out on posts that I think are important, not so much to sell anything, but to just kind of create awareness and answer some of the social media questions that people may have. And one of the things that I find, it's really fun for me, and I'm just kind of noticing that people are finding some value in it. It's something I started on the page called Tools Tuesday. I say that 3 times real fast, Tools Tuesday. But every Tuesday, and sometimes Monday night, I will schedule a post, admittedly. But mostly on Tuesday, I find one of my favorite social media tools, or cloud-based tools, or Google tool, or whatever it is that kind of helps me manage my social media presence, that of my clients, or the social media presence of Social Media Tulsa. All right, so blogs, all of those things that I think people who are on that page would be interested in. And and I call it Tools Tuesday. And I also add, not only do I add, hey, here's what the thing is, and I usually either copy and paste the about section from that page so people can kind of see what the gist of the service is, and then I give something that I call a me tip, and I definitely use a hashtag on Facebook, and it's not a forward from Twitter. It's just I like using hashtags, so I call it a me tip, and I typically just give the reasons or tips that I would suggest that people use a particular tool, or the one that I'm then talking about that week. So let me go to the site really quickly. Again, it's facebook.com/social media Tulsa. And this week's tool was YouTube for nonprofits, which I just read about on the YouTube blog, and wanted to definitely share it with the social media Tulsa community, because we have a lot of nonprofits in our group, attending our conferences and in our meetups. So I knew it would resonate with a good number of people. Last week, the Tools Tuesday was Google Webmaster Tools. I get questions a lot about how I use Google Analytics and keywords and SEO and all that good stuff. So Webmaster Tools was a great thing to introduce to people who may or may not have known about it. I also used Tools Tuesday was Wibbia, the Wibbia bar that you see on some web pages. I use the Wibbia bar. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it's another one of those things that I think if the more you know and the more you research about things, you can kind of make your own decisions on what you'd like to use. But earlier in the month, I did Twitter list, because there's a lot of people out there kind of just getting started with Twitter, trying to find out why how to get the most value from Twitter. And so the me tip was that I created a list of all the new food trucks in the Tulsa area. So the food truck trend is moving into Tulsa, which I'm very excited about. And I created a list, and then subsequently a column on Hootsuite. So it's kind of a little dual Tools Tuesday. And then I don't have to log in and look at the list. I can just look at that column for the food trucks and see where they are, and either retweet them or get in my car and go get some food. Right? So, a lot of times they're fun. Sometimes they're, hey, really get on this tool. Let's see, one more. Oh, I did Foursquare one week, and I did Storify. Storify is one of my favorite tools. So I'm as I scroll down, I'm not surprised that was one of the early ones. I've done Google Analytics, and it's kind of fun for me because I, as a educator and somebody who kind of uses these tools and looks out for these tools for my clients and for my students, what can I do with all this information? And I'm not the only speaker at my conferences, so and neither should I be. So it's a great thing to do the Tools Tuesday, so I can kind of share information and also let people know the kind of information that they're going to get if they come to the Social Media Tulsa conference. I try to bring people together who are as smart about these tools as I think anybody is, and some people who have really mastered things like Storify or video, whether it's YouTube or Vimeo or any other video source, and to just kind of take that even further, right? I'm giving you, here's what it is, and here's how I suggest, and then hopefully what you'll find at the conference is you'll find these really, really smart people who come in and say, let's take it a little further and let's just talk about video in general and how to tell your story. And then now you can go and say, oh, well, YouTube has a program for nonprofits. Now I know how to create the content and why to create the content and how to associate it with my business. And, oh, by the way, there was a link to the YouTube nonprofit organization white paper and where to sign up for my organization. So I'm really hoping that this is a big tie-in for people to to the whole social media Tulsa community. It's it's not just Facebook, it's not just Twitter. It's watching the social tools in action and experiencing them and learning by experiencing. And then as we get to the conference, you're just you're just hit with the smart people saying, all the stuff you've been using and maybe still have questions, I've got answers, and this is how I've had success, and this is how it can work for you. So I'm really excited about doing the Tools Tuesday, and in fact, some of the speakers that are on my speaker wish list, and we're trying to make sure we bring to Tulsa are fans of Tools Tuesday. So that's encouraging that even the speakers who are coming into Tulsa next spring are finding it fun to follow us on social media Tulsa on Facebook. So that's Tools Tuesday. I hope you'll either check into the page once a week or hit the like button, and it will more than likely show up on your stream. But if not, just click over on Tuesdays and see what I've had. And a couple times it's the posts have been a little late because I've forgotten, and but I'll always get in a Tools Tuesday, and hopefully I'll take suggestions from people, because I know there's some things that I may not use very often, or I've only kind of touched the surface that people may have questions about, and I can certainly share that with people and either give my opinion or find somebody who is really proficient in that particular area. So I hope you'll tune in on Tuesdays, or I may just do a little Spreaker edition for the Tools Tuesday if that's something people start asking about. So if that's what you want to see, make a little comment to the Spreaker or on the blog post that I'll post this on. And if you want me to talk about the tool on Tuesdays, or maybe I'll talk on Wednesday. I'll talk about the Tools Tuesday on Wednesday. How about that? Anyway, thanks again for listening. Have a great day. Bye-bye.